Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Rose to Row and Astrology. I'm your host, Mel Rose, and today is Wednesday, September 18, 2024. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and thank you for checking in on your current regular astrology. I, for one, think it's very important to keep up with your current regular astrology, obviously, because astrology is kind of our ancient system for looking out into the night sky to try to get some sense of what the energies are that are at play on a universal level out there, because as above, so below, whatever energies are at play out there are also at play in our own lives. So if we can catch a glimpse as to what kind of surprises or obstacles or other kind of energies might be coming up for us in our lives, then that kind of gives us a little bit of a advantage, doesn't it? It gives us a little heads up, and I sure do appreciate that about astrology. I hope you are all feeling happy and well and loved and blessed and whole and supported wherever you are. I am feeling happy and loved and well and blessed and whole and so grateful to be alive on this gorgeous morning here in Lee's Summit, Missouri. Who caught the full moon last night? I managed to catch the full moon just as it had come above the horizon last night, and it was so big and glorious. And I also caught a little bit of the eclipse. You know, generally it's not considered a thing where we like celebrate the eclipse or go out to observe it. The eclipse is kind of a lay low energy. You know, there's a little chaos there. There's a little bit of like, we don't know what's going to happen. It could be positive or negative. So we try not to invite things, to happen at that time, but sort of more allow the eclipse to work its changes in our lives. And eclipses do bring changes. Eclipse means to leave. So something departs for us. Something is making room so that we can fill our lives with something bigger, better, more, having to do with what we would like to be, do, and have. So I hope that you caught that full moon. It was really beautiful. And if you have had any eclipse-like changes, especially themes coming up from the previous eclipse season that we had this year in March and April, coming up again this time of year, I would love to hear about it. Please let me know in the comments below, okay? All right, so the sun is in Virgo. First, I'm going to ask you, thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. It helps a lot, and I love to see new people hopping on all the time. Today, the sun is in Virgo, and the sun will be in Virgo through Sunday. We have the solstice, not the solstice, the equinox coming up at the end of the week on Sunday when the sun tips over from Virgo into Libra. We tip over from summer into fall. The equinox is the halfway point between the summer solstice, the longest day of the year, and the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year. So we are at that balancing point, or coming up to it on Sunday. But for now, the sun is in Virgo. Look back on how this sun in Virgo has gone for you. This is about getting meticulous. It's about being practical and particular. It's about sorting out, knowing what it is that you have in terms of your physical resources, and putting them in place, in a place, putting everything in its place so that you have it at hand, you know where it is when you need it to move forward. Virgo is a time of year when we're turning our attention away from so much of the summer sun and fun, and back toward the school or the work that we're trying to do in the world. We're making our plans, and we're getting specific about what it is that we're going to do moving forward. And the moon today is in Aries. It goes into Aries early this morning around 4:30 Central Standard Time. So there was a void, of course, this morning. It was about 20 minutes long between 4 o'clock and 4:20. And the moon in Aries is a time when we are thinking about ourselves, and it sort of helps us to access our fire. It helps us access our impatience, our desire to make progress, our activity. Remember, Aries is ruled by Mars, and so it's very much about moving forward. Now, Mars is in Cancer right now, so our progress is a little bit slow, like wading through water, or 2 steps forward and then 2 steps to the side and then 2 steps forward again, right? So that can be a little bit frustrating, but Moon in Aries is a great time to be active and to actually initiate things, to start projects, especially at home, and also to be setting boundaries around things that you want to keep a certain way, right? Okay, so that's the moon. The moon is also still in the full. It was just full last night, so still an appropriate time to be celebrating the full moon, however you like to do that. The moon is a time of culmination, so we work hard to get things together, to have these accomplishments. And then when we get to the full moon, we celebrate what it is that we have accomplished, and we sort of let it go. We put it behind us so that we can move on to the next project. But it's not just putting it behind us and moving on to the next project. It's sort of like you got ready for a party between the new moon and the full moon. And when you got to the full moon, you had the party. And now here we are just at the end of the party. Tomorrow will be after the party. So after the party, we clean up. We toss things away. We rearrange the furniture back to where it's supposed to be. We get things settled into place again for ourselves in time for the new moon in 2 weeks, where we start again with that creative cycle. So still celebrating, still at the party right now, or maybe just after the party, time to start looking around and thinking about how that went, and how you might like it to go the next time you come through. And that will help you assess what you still need to keep with you in terms of what's useful for your creative purposes, and what you can start to think about letting go. Mercury is in Virgo, and Mercury is right at home in Virgo. Mercury rules Virgo. So with the Sun and Mercury in Virgo, our focus is very much on the plans that we're making and the resources we have and what we plan to do with them to affect practical change in our lives. And today Mercury is standing in opposition to Saturn. We have a couple of oppositions on the chart today. In fact, Venus is still standing across the sky from Chiron. Mercury is standing across the sky from Saturn, and oppositions bring conflict. They bring tension. It's not like a conjunction. When you have a conjunction, those energies are together. They look like they're in the same place in the sky together, and it's like they're combined under pressure. But with an opposition, they're standing across the sky from it. So it's like if I look over here at Mercury, I can't see what Saturn is doing. And if I look over here at Saturn, I can't see what Mercury is doing, right? So they may not very well be communicating with each other, or they may just be sort of opposed to one another in one way or another. So, Mercury, this is our thoughts, plans, and communications, the running around that we do, the plans that we make and how we execute them. And Saturn is responsibility. Saturn is the heavy. Saturn is the stuff that, you've got to take care of. It's going to be there until you take care of it. And it probably even might prove to be an obstacle for you if you're avoiding taking care of it, right? So Saturn's over here saying you have responsibilities, and Mercury's over here saying I have a plan. And Mercury's in an earth sign, and Saturn is very earthen in its way. So it can be something that we can work out, but it's really just sort of like my plans and responsibilities might be a little bit at odds with each other today. So I'm going to have to slow my roll on my plans and focus on the ones that help me take care of my responsibilities. Okay, that's how you find that middle ground. That's how you find the balancing point between those two and operate them together. I also want to say that from Monday, Venus is still standing in opposition to Chiron, and this is an opposition between what we like, love, and can't get enough of, those things that we want and that we try to draw in, and our actual healing, our ability to make progress in terms of our personal, physical, mental, and emotional well-being. So sometimes the things that we want are at odds with the things that will help us heal. And again, this is sort of like, all right, well, then we need to adjust what it is that we think we want, so that it can reflect more of our healing, so that we can find that middle point between them. Okay, so we're still in that vibe very much. Tomorrow, the sun is going to trine Uranus, and that's a very positive. It's a very positive vibration. Trine is grace. It just happens. It's not something that you ever have to do, but to take advantage of it, you have to be gracious. You have to allow the energy to come in. So the sun is our sense of purpose in the world. It's what we focus on. It's what we bring our light and heat to. And Uranus is just surprises and sometimes upgrades, technological upgrades in understanding and perspective. So look out for that. Keep your eyes peeled for new sense of understanding and perspective, and especially in terms of the work you're trying to do in the world. And be gracious to it, be open to it, allow it to make the changes that it's going to make for you. It can be a very positive thing. The thing with Uranus is, it does come with a surprise often. So, we don't always enjoy seeing surprises, and we think, this is terrible. But, have a little faith, have a little trust. It's going to be a good thing. Okay. Friday, Venus is going to make an adjustment to Uranus. That's what we like, love, and can't get enough of. Also, we have to adjust our sense of that in terms of the new information that's coming in, the new perspective that we've won. And then also on Friday, the sun is going to oppose Neptune. So that's going to be a little bit of a foggy, mysterious feeling. It's going to be a little bit of, check your facts before you act on them. Saturday is also an active day. I want to say that the sun is coming up on a trine with Pluto. So the sun trines Uranus tomorrow, and then on Saturday it trines Pluto. That is another day of gracious, allowing energy, helping us cope with some discovery or some information that's coming up from beneath. Okay, from the subconscious, or just things that we're things that have come back around for us to deal with and apply our understanding to. It is a trine, so it should happen very easily. And again, when Pluto does its thing, sometimes we're a little bit like, that's kind of scary, that means a change. But really the idea is just to be open to it and embrace it and allow it to work its change in your life, and it can be a very positive thing. And then on Sunday, we have the fall equinox. The sun moves on into Libra, and and Venus moves on into Scorpio. So we're going to have a real shift in energy and tone on Sunday. And I will be here to talk with you about that on Friday. I think that's all I have to say to you about it today. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, for spending this time with me. I sure do appreciate you all, and I will catch you in the next video.